Hello there. Once again, it's Anton from Anton Will Obey. Thank you for stopping by the collection room. Today I have a little bit something special. So, she's pregnant. You have a wife, girlfriend, whatever, and there's a baby on the way. And they keep throwing strange information at you. Different sizes of the infant. Fruits that I don't recognize. And how is ever a human the shape of a pomegranate anyway? I don't really know. So I've come up with something slightly helpful, at least to me, and that is let's compare our unborn child, as it is, to relative action figures. Something we do understand more. So, at week 9, your baby will be roughly this size. And much like this Adam figure, it will not have much articulation to it. But it will be roughly an inch in 9 weeks. 10 weeks. This small Transformers pilot figure will be more likely the size of your child, slightly more articulation, and has increased somewhat in size. You may recognize this fella. This is Marsala. At about 11 weeks, he will have grown roughly this big. It's about 2.5 inches, and I don't think he'll be blue. By week 12, your unborn child will be roughly the size of this Shredder mutant figure, the clone. This is a NECA figure, came out just this last year. Its weird infantile shape has always reminded me of an unborn child anyway, so that is where I went with that figure. By week 13, your child will have grown significantly in there to roughly the height and size of this 3 3/4 inch scale T45 Power Armor Fallout 4 figure. Sans the laser, but roughly this size. So by week 14, I don't know how accurate the representation size-wise is. It's a little bit taller. This is a 4 1/4 inch scale Star Trek Galoob figure from the 90s. This is Deanna Troi. I have a lot of Deanna Trois. So of course she had to make it into this list, but this would be roughly the size at 14 weeks. 15 weeks, I just selected to use this 1980s Ninja Turtles Mona Lisa figure, simply because it has a tail. And even though at 15 weeks, I'm not sure if your child still has a tail or not. The baby is, technically it's just the spine, but it will grow as such. Or so I've heard. By 16 weeks, I could not find my original Ninja Turtle action figure, so I used a reissue. I actually like them better. I don't care what you people say. These are good. But you'll have added some weight and some size to that. And I don't know, whenever the books say, oh, it's the size of a grapefruit or something now. What is it, round? It's not round. Why would it be a grapefruit? Well, it's got to be roughly this shape. Week 17. You haven't gained so much as girth, but you've elongated. You've gained length. So I've represented it with this extremely expensive SH Figuarts Sakura figure. Thing of beauty. By week 19, you can pretty much go with your standard Marvel Legends 6-inch scale. And about that girth too, I would say. You're probably not dealing with like a massively thick, but I've chosen Lord Draken as this because I think he's a pretty accurate representation of the median size of a figure and of a tiny infant at this point. By week 20, you're starting to pack on some weight. By week 20, you're roughly the size of a Motu Classics He-Man figure, sans the battle axe. The battle axe is important because about week 20 is when you first start hearing heartbeats and fluttering and whatnot, movement. By week 21, you've gotten slightly larger. For that representation would be this Marvel Legends Omega Red, who's just a little bit bigger, a little bit more weight, slightly taller, slightly longer. Little tendril things reminded me of some sort of in utero child. Now by week 23, you're starting to really pack on some weight and some size, and that is why I selected this Marvel Legends. This isn't a Build-A-Figure, but it should have been. This Marvel Legends Drax with the mind of a child, the infantile delight of Drax. This is a glorious figure that I absolutely love. As you can see, he's got his placenta going on with this cape. So that would be week 23. Now you're getting really crazy at this point because the size varies. There's a lot of variation in size based on your genes, size of your wife, the size of you, all sorts of factors like that. So at week 28, you're going to be pushing pretty close to Marvel Select Juggernaut style. You're not going to weigh this much because this thing like 5, your baby at this point should be about 2 pounds roughly. And like I said, there is some play to this, but at 28 weeks to roughly 30 weeks, just picture Marvel Select Juggernaut in there. Kind of weird thought to have, but yeah. And then I don't have a lot of figures in this later range because once your baby reaches a certain point, it kind of just stays the same size in there. So anywhere from 35 weeks to theoretically the time that it's born, you would be dealing with this DC Ultra Classics Solomon Grundy. So it could be this big inside the womb. It could be this big and when it's born. None of them are going to weigh this much because this guy weighs, I think, like 7 or 8 pounds. I guess your baby could weigh 7 to 10 pounds when it's born, but that's a big kid. And this thing is really heavy. Picture a giant Solomon Grundy swimming around in there, just waiting to come out. Anyway, those are your basic sizes. Put into terms that maybe some of us nerds could understand a little bit better than your average fruits. I don't know, when it says the baby's the size of a banana, I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Is that like he's just long? No. He's shaped more like an action figure. That's why they're called action figures. Anyway, we'll run through that real quick breakdown. So the quick recap. Week number 9, about the size of the atom. Week number 10, the size of basically a mask figure. By week 11, you'll be in Exo Squad territory. Week number 13, Mini Mutant Shredder clone. Week 14, Star Trek Next Generation Deanna Troi. Week 15, Mona Lisa figure from the Ninja Turtle line. Week 16, Classic Style Ninja Turtles. Week 17, SH Figuarts Street Fighter Sakura. Week 19, mid-sized 6-inch scale action figure. Week 20, Motu Classics He-Man. Week 21, Marvel Legends Omega Red. Week 23, Build-A-Figure Shoulda Been, Marvel Legends Drax. Week 28, possibly the Juggernaut, Marvel Select. And week 35 and on, DC Classics Ultra, Solomon Grundy. Well, there you have it. Hope that cleared up a few things and is a little bit easier to understand the progress of your baby in womb for those of us who maybe don't know what fruits are. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's my story. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.